Welcome to the Back 9 Six-Pack with Mitch and Justin. Let's roll.
Hello and welcome to episode 35 of the Back 9 Six-Pack. My name is Mitch, joined as always by my esteemed colleague Justin. Great news, did a power ranking, took zero heat, actually got good feedback.
I got good feedback too. You said it on here. I thought that was going to be one we get roasted for because Wham, George Michael's,
Yeah, people don't like, kind of the sad, tones of the song or whatever.
Yeah, no, I got really good feedback. I did get told a couple that I missed, but there's just so many Christmas songs out there, and it's really what you like, right? It's like going to a buffet. Like, are you going to make a mistake if you get lobster instead of steak? No, you just like lobster more than you like steak. That's the way I see the Christmas song kind of breaking out.
Sure.
But we didn't get any heat for it, so
Now, to that, we will crack a nice ice cold Miller Lite.
These are holiday Miller Lights because, man, I will tell you, I don't know about you, but the holiday stress is kicked into another level. Last day of school tomorrow. After we get out of here, I've got to go get teacher presents. Didn't even have time to do that tonight. So,
Man, what's even going to be open for you?
Kroger. That's going to be about it.
Gift cards. Get those fuel points, baby.
Double fuel. No, 10-time fuel points right now.
Whatever it is, something crazy.
Yeah, we're going to get like $1.75 gas here soon.
Nice.
But yeah, the stress levels for Christmas are they've kicked up a notch when you get inside 7 days.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. For me personally, look, I live a pretty stress-free Christmas. I can't complain. So just going to get out in front of that right now before I get taken down by your words again.
So I try to split up my stress. And I don't say stress, like just things that I've got to do. So like for work, I put a Christmas party together every year. I could have done it this week, but I put it last week because I'm like, look, it's going to be a bunch of stuff going on this week. Just trying to split things up, just not try to put them all in 1 week. When I go out of town every other year, I have to put them all in 1 week because we're gone the week before. But yeah, you do live a pretty, I say after I get past certain things, I'm like, after getting past this weekend, it's not like super stressful. I'm more of a sponge for other people's stress at this point.
Yeah, no, I get it. I actually volunteered to work Zach's Christmas party last Friday. First time doing anything like that. I got to say, it's like simultaneously incredibly heartwarming when your kid walks in the room and like realizes his dad is there.
It is.
But you can also die inside at the same time resetting penguin bowling for an hour straight for a bunch of 5-year-olds. So
I did a Christmas party last Friday too for the middle kid. Was running late. Something popped up at work. I come in, she's like teary-eyed. And then she sees me and she's like, "Oh, he's here." Like she thought I wasn't coming.
Oh.
Which I'm like, look, I am wishy-washy and I can tend to be, non-committal. But I was like, if I tell you I'm going to be somewhere, I'm going to be somewhere. So yeah, I did that. I didn't have to do penguin bowling, but I did do a craft that involved powdered donuts, which was sticky.
Yeah, that's tough. The craft table, there was glitter and paint involved. I stayed away from that.
Give me penguin bowling.
Yeah, penguin bowling it was. Hey, while you're here, do us a favor, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Follow us on social media at Back9Sixpack. Super appreciate you guys for doing that. Speaking of social media, we did a little bit of an Instagram poll on one of our clips we cut last week from the show. Just kind of, we talked a little bit about the state of pro golf and just being a fan and all of that. And put up a little poll about, how do you currently feel about professional golf? Went back and looked at those results. The options were love it, meh, just give me the majors, or take it away. 60% of people voted just give me the majors. The other 40% meh. So I think people were pretty much in line with kind of how we discussed it all last week.
I think they're all in the middle, right? Like they're just like, yeah, like
right.
None of them are like, oh, God, I still love it. What are you guys talking about? And I don't think there's anybody that's like, well, I'm not going to not watch.
Yeah, which I think is, that's good news, right? If you're somebody that's working in professional golf, like, there's still
Jay
somewhat of an audience.
Or someone with the USGA.
Yeah.
They're not going to not watch, but I mean, I've never seen a product that lasts long term where everybody's like, yeah, my Apple phone,
Right.
My first Mac computer, it's okay.
You either need people to love you or people to hate you. That's the way.
And both it can work out for the best in both ways.
Exactly.
Being indifferent's never good.
Yeah. Well, speaking of being good, the transitions are on fire tonight.
Yeah, they are.
You had a great idea. Look, it's Christmas season. Santa's out there making his list, checking it twice. We came up with a nice little, the naughty nice list of golf for this year. I don't even know. We want to start with the nice list?
Yeah, we'll start with the nice list. Because the nice list, as I told you when I came up with this idea, I was like, man, the nice list is really hard.
Yeah.
I live on the naughty list. Maybe that's why I know all the people that I'm accompanied by. But the nice list was hard. And I think that goes back to the state of golf, right? Like, before it'd be like, man, this was a cool story. This was a cool story. This was a really cool story. I wish we're going to talk when we get through the nice list. I'm going to add one more thing. And it happened today. It literally happened from Q school today. Super cool story, but we'll get to that. But we'll start with the nice list.
You just reminded me, because you're right, like all of the bad stuff that's happened has really overshadowed like even the good stories throughout the year. And it just made me like remember just the fall swing. Like we had Camilo Villegas winning, we had EVR winning, and he has, the friend going through cancer battle. Like, so there have been really good stories and things that would qualify for the nice list here. But I do think you're right. It did take a little bit of digging just to kind of go back through and be like, man, like what was actually fun and good in golf this year? So, I'll kick us off here on the nice list. I think so you put Ludwig on the list.
Yeah. I mean,
so I went ahead and comboed that with Victor Hovland because I think they're
the future of the sport. Yeah. I mean, I wish they were American. They're not, but they're the future of the sport, especially Ludwig. I mean, look, if you don't know who he is now, just spend about 8 hours on YouTube watching. This guy is a stud. I mean, and he's exciting too. Like I don't know how much of a personality. I don't think we've seen his personality a whole lot.
Sure.
But I mean, his golf game speaks for itself. I mean, the guy just got his tour access from the PGA Tour U, and within 7 months is a full-time staple on the PGA Tour now.
I mean, he's won twice, I think, worldwide at this point. Played incredibly well at the Ryder Cup. So yeah, he's definitely way on the rise. And Victor Hovland, honestly, like a little bit different story where it was kind of, I think he fulfilled sort of the promise of what we had been told that he was.
Yep.
And really stepped his game up and won the FedEx Cup, showed up in majors with some real chances to win. I think heading into next year, you'd be hard pressed. He's going to be, probably a top 3 or 5 favorite in every major.
100%. Yeah. Mind you, funny story about Ludwig. This is how crazy this story is, right? And how unprecedented, like the timeline from which he's gone from, number one amateur to like a full staple. Almost exactly 12 months ago from today. Like I think it's like tomorrow. I saw him hitting range balls at Texas Tech's home course, and he was still a member of a college golf team.
Yeah.
And now he's like Ryder Cup, PGA Tour, 2 wins within 12 months, which is really, I mean, it was really within 7, but 12 months ago, he's a college student. And now he's won over $3 million, $4 million, and he's going to be around for a really long time. It's just, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah. Crazy. This one, I think, probably, honestly, in my opinion, was probably the golf story of the year outside of all this, Live PGA Tour stuff. I mean, Michael Block at the PGA Championship.
I mean,
look, a lot of it is probably jumped the shark, within the last, honestly, weeks after it happened. But, I mean, what an insane run that was when you just go back and think about it.
And just like everything, right?
It doesn't seem real.
Like, it's not even the fact that he got his place for next year, right? The dude had a hole-in-one on Sunday in a fucking major. Like, how many hole-in-ones do you see in a major, period? By anybody. Like, the world's best, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're talking Rory. The dude has a hole-in-one playing with Rory on a Sunday in a fucking major. Dude.
I think it was Saturday for the
Oh, no, it was Saturday. Sorry, it was Saturday.
He did have a pretty nice up and down on 18.
Sunday was the up and down on 18. That got him in for next year.
But I can just remember, like, walking around the house with it on in the background, and then you just hear Nance come on with, like, you hear the cheer, and then it's like,
you're not going to believe this.
Yeah, a moment ago, and you're like, no way.
No way.
Because you knew he was on a par 3 at that point, because I'm tracking it, and just absolute mayhem on that hole.
But, we talk. So, obviously, what he did in the PGA Championships is just amazing. But think about this. He went from a nobody to like something like literally overnight. I mean, within 4 days, he went from some club pro in California to guys playing in all these professional tournaments. Look, whether you like it or not, like he's taking spots from people, whatever. But he's playing DJ Khaled's tournament down in the Bahamas. Like it's good for hey, don't hate the player, hate the game. Like hate the fact that the people that run these tournaments are inviting him. Don't hate him. Like he seems like a pretty genuine guy too. Like he's just kind of blown back by it. Like like this is, and I don't blame him for riding the wind. Like let it ride, dude. Like until they stop inviting you places, just keep doing it.
Absolutely. So yeah, he'll be at Valhalla next year.
Yeah,
down in Louisville.
I will be down there.
I'm gonna find a way down. We'll figure it out. But yeah,
I have an extra ticket. But
well, here we go. Look how easy that was. And obviously this all happened during the PGA Championship. You and I talked about it at the time. Like, honestly, kind of feel like the PGA Championship has leveled up like a ton,
100%
in the last couple of years.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the venue. Last year's venue, Buffalo, unbelievable, right? Buffalo sports fans are just
Buffalo. Oak Hill is in Buffalo.
Yeah, it is. I think it's in New York. Well, it's like
okay.
It's not Buffalo, but
I know what you mean.
But like those northern New York fans, like the Buffalo area, Rochester, like it's in Rochester.
That's right.
But I mean, Buffalo's not far away. But just those fans, those sports fans up there, are just incredible. Like obviously the course is perfect, but like Valhalla, I can't wait to get back to Valhalla this year. Like I think it's a fantastic venue for. I know some people don't like it, but I think it's more of the proximity for us. Like we don't get a lot of major golf around here, or within say a 2-hour trip. So I think for Midwest golf fans, even though some people would say that's the South, I think it's a good thing. And Midwest sports fans are just as good.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like necessarily the venues. That's probably part of it because this is what I'm going to say is. The PGA, among all of them, I feel like brings the most players in to the tournament.
I think I believe that is the case because there's how many club pros are there? Like 25 or something like that. So
yeah, that. It's a strong field, but then I just think different player types can succeed at the way that they've set the courses up.
Yeah,
and in the meantime, the U.S. Open is kind of like somehow got itself into an identity crisis. Like people don't know if it's supposed to be the toughest test or if it's.
Don't move on to the naughty list so quickly.
Yeah, I know. We'll save that for a minute. But yeah, like I
know what you're saying.
I think the PGA Championship has found a good identity.
They found a great identity. Yeah, they found it. It's a fair but tough test of golf.
Yeah, it's going to be like
that. Doesn't make it unfair for guys that don't bomb the ball.
Right. It's going to end up being like around 8 under par is probably going to win. Yep. If it gets into double digits, then sure that might happen, but. Yeah, it feels like a totally fair test.
Yep.
You're right.
Yeah. You want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, go for it.
So I came up with this one. I was actually messaging with the guy, only because I had some insight. I knew a guy that, for those of you who don't know, the green jackets are made in Cincinnati. So there's this guy on Instagram. He started this whole video series. New Nine Golf is his brand. Brandon Coubet, I want to say he's Canadian. I'm guessing that's how you say it. So he decided, like, I think he's on day 16 now.
Yeah.
That he was like, I want to play Augusta. And he's like, I'm going to find a way on Augusta. Within 16 days, his journey's led him from, like, the very beginning. He's FaceTiming with, like, Mike Weir's, wife and Mike Weir.
With Mike Weir, yeah.
Yeah, and Mike Weir. But so I started messaging him. This is probably about a week ago because I knew a guy that, because of the green jackets being made in Cincinnati, I said, hey, I know a guy, but I've already asked him. I was like, he's played Augusta. and he got invited through the guy that makes the green jackets. And I was like, is there any chance like you can just like introduce me to this guy and like I'll ask him personally? And he's just like, no. So I told this guy my story. He starts laughing. We kind of exchanged messages back and forth. But is like on top, like how professional, this kind of goes back to what we talked about last week. Professional golf is lacking entertainment value and this and that and like reasons to watch. Like guys like this, like I find this entertaining, even though it's like 2-minute videos. Like I find it entertaining. Like, and he takes you through his journey. He's like, he's trying to get on radio shows. He's had a couple offers to play, but he's like, it was like $50,000. They're not supposed to. You're not supposed to pay to play, but we know how that goes. Like,
sure,
hey, wire me the money and then I'll meet you down there. Like, you know what I mean? That's kind of how I'm sure it goes. But it's been a good, like a fresh breath of air. Just like this guy's like genuinely just trying to play Augusta for the love of the game, and he's trying to do it like natural, like just with networking, which I think is to me awesome. Is really cool.
Yeah, I've been following along too, and it's like you said. It's just nice, like he's trying to live everybody like our dream, basically.
Yeah, and
you feel like it's like a one of us situation, right? Like if he gets out there, you'd be just like not as stoked if you got to play, obviously, but it would be a really freaking cool story.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, worst case, he scored. Mike Weir gave him practice round tickets.
Yeah.
So worst case, he's going to go down there.
Plus, just the connections along the way that he's made. You know, people. You know, you never know. This is a long play. It doesn't necessarily have to happen right now.
No, I think he knows that. You know, it could go years, a couple years probably. And everybody keeps telling him volunteer, which is easier said than done, because he said in like his last video, he's like, you literally have to wait for someone to die to become a volunteer. Yeah. Like there's a waiting list to volunteer for the tournament.
Of course.
So, but I thought it's cool. I thought that just with everything golf's going through, like guys like that, I think are, you know, making things fun, you know?
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, we kind of touched on this a little bit. So major venues for next year.
Nice list.
Making the nice list, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we've obviously got Augusta. We mentioned Valhalla for the PGA. The U.S. Open going back to Pinehurst #2. I mean, that's a top 3 U.S. Open venue.
I mean.
Great. Royal Troon is one's kind of like, I think Valhalla and Royal Troon are kind of like fighting it out for 3-4.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure. Yeah. I mean, a year you play Pinehurst.
Yeah.
That's going to be #2 behind Augusta, for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, and Troon is like, so last time they were there was obviously the Henrik Stenson, Phil Mickelson duel.
Yeah.
Where they were like 10 shots clear of the field or whatever.
Yeah.
The Henrik one. But then before that, you got some kind of champions.
Mm-hmm.
I think Justin Leonard won there. Todd Hamilton won there.
But that's why I liked it.
Ugh.
Like, I like when guys like, look, we all like when
we're getting to the naughty list in a minute too with this,
but we like when the guys that, you know, they go out there, the guys that don't normally win, they go out there and they, for whatever reason, the Open Championship seems like it's the one that like guys win and that's like their only major. You know what I mean?
That's the one that makes the most sense, right? There's the most chaos involved.
It is, yeah. You get weather, you know, the guy grinds out like. All those guys are good enough to start grinding out pars. Like the weather gets in there and you start grinding out some pars. Next thing you know,
yeah, I mean, if it's
you're tied for the lead.
You can have whole sides of fields eliminated. You know, cut the field in half. It's possible.
But I don't know. I think after last year, like outside of like Oakmont, I think that the whole slate is pretty good. I was not a fan of Liverpool. I think it's stupid. I think there was some dumb holes out there.
I like Liverpool.
I don't like how the out of bounds, like it's janky. It's gimmicky. I don't like that. We'll get to the naughty list, but my feelings on LACC are very well documented at this point. But yeah, we won't get that to that. But I think from this year to next year, it gets on the nice list. And maybe their shitty tournaments will come back next year and be like, they're on the naughty list. Like Valhalla might suck, and we're like, it's on the naughty list. So
right. I think last year's were pretty epic. It was obviously Augusta. Southern Hills was really good.
Yeah, that was Southern Hills was a PGA.
The golf club, right? Brookline.
Yeah.
And that was
that was a pretty good year.
And then you had St. Andrews.
Yeah,
that's pretty. And that's pretty good. Anytime you get a St. Andrews
maybe they
year,
felt so bad this year because of the year before.
Yeah.
Might be a little something to that.
Anytime you get an old course year, it's kind of that gets like an instant leg up. So,
and again, I don't want to crap on like West Coast majors.
West Coast majors are the best.
The time frame for West Coast majors is fantastic. Just got to have a better course. So,
yeah. You know what? I will one random one that wasn't on our list here, but the U.S. Open or the Women's U.S. Open going to Pebble was freaking sweet. So that's
that was
definitely
good.
a nice list.
That was good. The one I wanted to add.
Yeah.
So yesterday, last day of Q school got canceled. Not canceled, postponed. Excuse me. So they played today, and I was like, "Oh crap, it's on!" So I turned it on. Like the last 6 groups probably had like 3 holes to play. There was a guy that I was kind of following because through Monday Q on Twitter, I've kind of known his story. Hayden Springer, his 3-year-old daughter passed away on November 13th.
Oh.
Top 5 get carts. He steps on the 17th tee. He is 1 inside the number. Snap hooks it in the water.
Ooh.
Finds a way to make bogey. Another guy makes bogey, so he's still 1 inside the cut line. Pars the last hole, gets his card today after losing his daughter a month ago.
Jeez.
And this guy is when you want to like, you can maybe we'll post it or somewhere, so, like the articles that have been written about him. The guy's a grinder. I mean, he's been out there forever, and he's finally got his tour card, which I thought was. He snap hooked it on 17. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I don't care what happens. Like, just something, just got to make bogey. I felt myself super invested in it, and awesome story. But he got his tour card today, so shout out Hayden Springer. That, to me, is like the feel-good story. Like, at the very end of the year, it's like maybe the feel-good story of the year. So
yeah, that'll be. I'm glad you told that. I was unaware of that, honestly. So that'll give me something nice to follow going into next year for sure.
Unfortunately, our third king did not get his tour card today, Spencer Levine.
What? I thought he got it.
I don't think he did. No, he was so he was inside the cut line going into today. He had to finish 8 under, and he finished 6 under.
Oh damn!
No, he finished 5 under. He was +3 today.
Oh,
so if he'd have shot even par, he got his card today. But
yeah, we'd love to see Spencer back.
I
think he's past the like chain smoking up the fairways days.
Yeah, so he's been. Someone said he's been sober for like 3 years now. He's not smoking anymore.
Good for him.
He kind of needed that. That dude was a man. Like,
I mean, him like punting the visor beside the one green is just like that gift just lives on. And
anybody that's an angry drunk needs to just. You gotta cut it off, like, and he was that guy, like, and he's admitted that. But he'll be. I think he's got conditional status on PGA Tour.
Okay,
and he's gonna be on Korn Ferry again full time next year. So,
gotcha.
At least he's still playing. So, but Hayden Springer, yeah, I'm glad. I had to tell. It happened literally. Like he finished his last hole at like 4:45. So
right before sundown.
Yeah, pretty much. So. All right, let's move on to the naughty list.
Naughty list.
This one was easy.
I don't even know if we need to like really go into detail on this one, but number 1 on the list, we had to put Jay Monahan.
Yeah, he is at the top of the naughty list.
I mean, he was obviously dealt like an incredibly tough deck, especially when you look at Tim Fincham got the Tiger era, so
yeah, he was dealt.
But it also feels like he made. Every time there was like a 50-50 call, it almost feels like he made the wrong call.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was going to say. Like he got dealt a bad, like a difficult deck. But what you didn't know is when he took all the aces and all the face cards out and handed them to the dealer and go, okay, I want to play you in poker. You know what I mean? Like he built the deck, right? Like
true.
I mean, it was tough, but I mean, he literally made every wrong decision you could ever make.
Yeah, and we're at the point where we don't know where we're standing today. So
he thought that Piff was bluffing, and they're like, okay, and they weren't bluffing. They had pocket aces,
and they've doubled and tripled down at this point. Yeah. Honestly, so.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there was the agreement with the group. I forget the name of the group or whatever, but they've got the private equity group that's involved now.
Yeah,
they're trying to make a similar deal with PIF. So,
yeah,
who knows? But
yeah. But it's like I think at this point it's like watching poker on TV, and like it says like this guy's got 100% chance of winning, and this guy's got a 0% chance of winning, and the 0% chance of winning guy just keeps like matching their bet.
Yeah,
like, dude. Just stop throwing money in at this point. Like you're not going to win this. So that's kind of what it feels like at this point. But for that, because he made every wrong decision, he's 100% on the naughty list.
For sure. And I'm going to go ahead and skip the next one for a minute because we got to get ahead to the person that I had claimed was on the naughty list forever, for years and years and years. And
he's fresh on mine.
Yeah, a recent addition to Justin's naughty list, Mr. Zach Johnson.
Captain Zach Johnson. Zach Johnson, you can feel however you want to feel. Captain Zach Johnson is the one that's on the naughty list.
That's fair. That's a good distinction. Captain Zach Johnson on the naughty list. In general, honestly, the 2023 Ryder Cup for the U.S. side, I mean...
The whole team, other than Max Homa.
Yeah, just...
They're all on there other than him.
The 0-4 start off the bat, they don't even win a hole for, 6 matches before they win a hole, just horrible.
The locker room tension because people wanted to be paid and...
Yeah, Cantley and Xander with all that stuff. I think my lasting memory or image of the Ryder Cup is Zach clearly talking Jordan Spieth into hitting 3-wood on the drivable par 4 16th, and then Spieth just absolutely waffling it into the...
Indefensible.
Into the water.
At that point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just he's like, what was upsetting is he was like, I've adopted the analytics. Well, all the analytics would tell you not to lay up on that hole. Go for it. Like, regardless of what kind of shot you have after that. So and that's why that was the shot that got him on the naughty list.
I think that was the moment that finally broke you.
Like he was, it was. I remember it happening in real time. I'm like, I kind of kept defending him, he's not hitting shots, guys. Like this isn't his fault.
Yeah.
And then he did that, and I'm like, no, I can't defend it. I can't do it. It's like the parents standing beside their kid, and it's like they rob a bank, and it's like, yeah, that's the straw. He's gotten in trouble with the law, but then this is the one that's breaks the camel's back.
And then the whole the sniffles excuse came out too, and just
yeah,
it was like playing the bingo card of making reasons that Justin will hate you, and it was just Zach Johnson's just checking off all of them on the bingo card.
All of them. Excuse
making, just wrong calls, blaming the stats, blaming everything else in the world. I mean, yeah,
I have zero sympathy for any excuses. That's my one thing. And I tell my kids that. I'm like, you can do things badly, right? You can do things wrong. But as soon as you make an excuse for why you did such thing, that's when you lose me. Yeah. And that's when he started to lose me. And then the next day, literally talks Jordan into hitting 3-wood off that tee. And it was just I can't defend this anymore.
Yeah, tough. I mean, I made that call prematurely. I'm still going to ride that one in the sunset. All right. Let's go to this one. This is honestly the on-course story of the year, I think you could say.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler's putting. Naughty list.
Oh, my God. 100%. He's so far on the naughty list. It's going to take him 2 more years of being nice with a putter to get off this list.
This is a show me, don't tell me situation. Yeah. He 162nd in strokes gained putting, while being the first player ever to lead the tour in strokes gained off the tee and approach in the same season.
Unbelievable.
So he won twice. I a bunch of articles out there that were kind of analyzing the numbers that basically said had he putted average, he would have won 4 times, including a win by 3 at Colonial and a win by 7 at Memorial. If he had just putted average in those events, some may know he actually won a 3rd time just a week or so ago at the Hero World Challenge. Small field, but
the putting was better.
Putting was better. He got a custom design putter from this Logan Olson guy that keeps popping up. He's a custom putter designer.
There's a handful of guys that are switching to his putters.
Yeah, so he's hooked up with this guy. Apparently he's been working with him since September on different prototypes and trying to figure it out. This one has kind of like a ping answer look to it.
It does. Yep.
But hey, who knows? This could be what saves Scotty's putting.
Logan Olson better be careful. There's a Scotty Cameron mafia out there that's going to send out a hitman.
Yeah, he's going to start coming for some of these Scotty guys. Start getting him in the Olson brand.
Seriously, but we'll see. I mean, it's gonna take a lot for him to get off the naughty list. Speaking of naughty.
All right, next up for me, you talked about, some of these guys that win some of these open championships, the grinder types, out of nowhere guys. We had one this year. I mean, Brian Harmon won the open championship by 6 shots this year. That's
the thing. He was an out of nowhere guy, but he fucking buried everybody.
Yeah.
Like Todd Hamilton's and those guys, they win by 1 or 2. He fucking buried everybody. Yeah. And mind you, while getting massive amounts of shit talked to him by the fans at Royal Liverpool. Because I don't know if we talked about this on here. So they apparently, in England and Scotland and hunters are not fondly looked upon. And they found out that he was a big hunter, and they all of a sudden they turned on him. And it didn't help that you had Tommy up there, you had some fan favorites for them that were up there. And when this Saturday he kind of started slipping a little bit. Yeah, and this guy was you don't have it in you, and then he just fucking buried everybody the last 29 holes of the tournament. He's a grinder, but I get it. It's not a name that everybody wants to win a major, right? I get that.
I'll hand up, fully admit, it's personal for me and Brian Harmon, okay?
It goes back to the coffee thing, probably.
Beyond that, I just know Brian Harmon and I would not be friends. No offense to Brian Harmon.
I think we would. So
yeah. One, I'm not so sure about this whole you don't have the stones for it, Harmon guy. That could be just a made-up circumstance. I honestly, just my opinion, I think he drinks black coffee just because he thinks it makes him a tough guy. He's a hunter. I guess that's more manly than anything I do, probably, but I'm not a hunter. I'm not down for that. We just wouldn't be friends. And the few times that I've ever played him on DraftKings, I swear to God, every time it's an 80. He absolutely, there's one time at the Players Championship where he rinsed 3 balls in 17, shot 82, blow the cut. Anyway, like I said, it's all personal.
I'm putting an asterisk next to this because he is not on my naughty list.
He's on my naughty list. I just
now this next guy is definitely on my naughty list.
Yeah. So look, I wrote these down. I picked on the 2 sort of unlikely major winners from this year. Wyndham Clark. Wyndham's got a good story. Actually, seems like a great guy.
He really does. He does seem like a good guy.
You and I both kind of agree. We think he got crowned a little bit at LACC.
And he's soft as fuck.
And just the whole thing at the Ryder Cup.
Dude, he got swallowed and spit out.
After he made the statement about, he thinks he's, better than Rory or whoever he said it about.
It's funny. I think a lot of sports, baseball, football, you get, you talk shit, you get chances to step up to the plate and, back your shit talking up, right? If you're a quarterback, multiple times in a game, you're talking shit to a defensive back. You're going to throw the ball 35 times. Throw it at him. Yep. Throw it at the defensive back you talk shit to. Golf, it doesn't happen, right? Some circumstances got to work out to get in those positions. He had the fucking perfect chance to just shove it down Rory's throat. And he fucking flails one. It wasn't even Adam Wainwright. It was the parlor ball. Yeah. I mean, this thing was so far right. Then he's out of the hole, and his partner has to save him. And he was 225 in the middle of the fairway?
I mean, he nuked the drive. And
he did.
That, yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, he's gonna back up all that talk. And then I think he's a nice guy. He did get crowned.
Yeah. I mean, the tee shot on 18 at LACC, that thing was 40 yards right. If it's on any other traditional U.S. Open setup...
Oh, he's doubling. And he's at least bogeying, we probably have a playoff.
Right. And somehow it's still in the fairway.
Yeah, that thing was terrible.
So which I think gets to I put a little side note underneath these. I put LACC on here for you.
The LACC is 100% on the naughty list.
Ooh.
For one, you just brought up the first point, that reason, right?
Sure.
18, not a lot of, like, you've got to step up, cold-blooded, hit a good tee shot, hit a good second shot. Didn't have that. And then the whole, hey, we can't have any stands behind the 18 because we want everybody to see our clubhouse thing.
Yeah.
That was disappointing.
There was a lot of focus on like corporate seating. There wasn't that much for, general admission.
And then just like LA sports fans, man, they're not good. They're just not good. And they're not good for golf. They're not good for baseball. They're not good for football. They're terrible for... Actually, they might be okay at basketball. Outside of that, they're not good sports fans. And like the contrast from the PGA Championship sports, like the fans that were there, and LACC... just night and day.
Yeah, you need that like on the edge kind of vibe.
Like
you don't want anything to get like cross the line and
like yelling in someone's backswing or anything like that.
But you need that like every shot has energy coming.
Yeah,
kind of vibe. You just don't get that at a place like LACC. It was light on, like I said, light on general admission.
Yep.
Ton of corporate stuff around. Not that many grandstands or good viewing areas.
No. Yeah.
Just it was kind of the nature of the beast there, but also a little bit to your point, the membership.
Yeah. So to me, like LACC, like better 18th hole, and if they just had like, if they had like the atmosphere of like a Pebble, being like that West Coast, but it feels like different kinds of fans travel to Pebble than they do like they did for LACC. And just like the seating where they've had all the stands at, like if it had that at LACC and maybe like a slightly better, harder 18th hole, would 100% been in on it.
Honestly, like I mean, Riviera's in LA too, and that vibe at that tournament's awesome.
Way different, yeah.
And
it's
the
way
scene
different.
on 18 there is sick. Like,
yeah, Riv's got that like, like the club scene LA.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's borderline and out of control, but it was still like in control. Like LACC was like, playing bridge on the back deck of the country club while the U.S. Open's going on out there.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
so
I can see that. All right, do we have any other naughty or nice lists that we haven't named that have come to mind since?
No.
I mean, we could go ahead and throw, if we want to throw John Rahm on the naughty list. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
He almost made it to the end of the year.
Yeah, he almost survived.
But I'll tell you what, does Santa Claus really need to show up at his house with $600 million in the bank account?
No, I think
he can just buy his own gifts at this point.
I think he's good. Yeah, I mean, I can't really... I mean, I guess if we wanted the reverse of Zach Johnson, Luke Donald on the nice list.
Yeah, I think that one might have been one we missed, yeah.
That was a good... I mean, I felt... We both talked about his, post-game speech or whatever was... awesome to hear his emotions come out that way. Yeah,
and it was like, most of the time when we've lost Ryder Cups, I'm like, fuck this dude.
Yeah.
And like I listened to his interview, I'm like, man, kind of happy for him. Like it felt bad, but I was like happy for him.
Yeah.
And he's running it back at Bethpage, which is, I think, is cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to see who the U.S. puts up. I hope it's got some juice and not just, I know.
It's gotta be.
I hope so too.
I mean, honestly, the only other person for like New York fans would be Phil. We probably know that's not going to happen.
Sure.
But if it's not Phil, it's got to be Tiger. And if it's not Tiger, it's got to be Phil. Like, it's just, it is what it is. Like, at this point, with the amount of the guys that we've had, it just has to be. So.
Yeah. Someone to put on the naughty list, but like maybe for the right reasons. Brooks Koepka came out and knocked off his 5th major. He had the whole hand signaling incident at the Masters, but then later won his 5th major, and he's got the picture with the Wanamaker trophy and the 5 up there, And then it's like you kind of every turn you kind of want to hate him, but then it's also like, damn it, you like you're kind of cool.
Then the way he like celebrated it, like dude's at a Panthers game in Florida,
still drunk from the night before,
just fucking hammered. Like you're like, God, he's like one of those guys that you don't want to be friends with, but that you would end up being friends with him. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're like, God damn it. Like, you tell all your other friends when you go to, like, his house, like you're either going to like him, you're either going to hate him or love him. There's really not going to be any between. And you get there, and the girls are, like, this dude's an asshole, and the guys are like, fucking love this dude. Like, that's who Brooks Koepka is. So
yeah. All right, I think that's probably a good. Do you have any? Actually, before we move on, do we have any? What about like between our group of guys? We got any nice naughty list recommendations here?
I'm gonna put one on the naughty list.
Okay.
Jared Wolver, who's an avid listener, he goes on the naughty list because he outdrove me by 1 yard in our stampede. I didn't even make it back to the clubhouse before I heard about it from about 7 people. That gets you on the naughty list.
Yeah, and he wanted me to talk about it on the pod right after too, which I did.
Yeah, what you did.
Yeah.
And then nice list. I don't know who could go on the nice list. I'll tell you what. We'll put Sean Arthur, our pro, on the nice list. Helped us with the Turkey Open.
You know, yeah, for sure.
He helped us with the Turkey Open. He's helped us with some gear this year. He definitely gets put on the nice list, for sure.
And while we're here, if you're listening and thinking about buying a gift either for yourself or a golfer in your life, 1, avoid Amazon. We posted again today. We're trying to get the word out for everybody. And 2, look, maybe buy some lessons or a fitting for for somebody.
Something, yeah.
Go see your local PGA professional. Don't go to Golf Galaxy and Dick's and whatever, PGA Superstore, all these places, and get fit, unless you're going to see an actual PGA pro at those places. Go support your local club and your local PGA pro.
Yeah, ask your pro. He'll get you fitted.
Yeah.
And if you decide to order something from us, we'll throw in a koozie with it. So if you decide to get a hat, we'll throw in a koozie.
Boom. Look at that. It's a time of giving.
Yep.
All right. I think it's time now. You know what time it is.
Yep.
Snow is on the ground, by the way. We're being threatened. Patio season is being threatened right now.
It's definitely threatened today.
We're under attack. I feel attacked.
I will say this though. When I got home today, dogs were rowdy. I went out on the patio. I turned on my stand-up heater and cracked open the only patio beer for anybody, Miller Lite, official sponsor of the patio. Great taste, less filling. Pacific Northwest hops, just top it off with the perfect taste for the ultimate fine Pilsner and ultimate light beer. And how many calories is it? I got in an argument about this weekend, and someone said it was 1 more than Mick Ultra, but it's actually 1 less than Mick Ultra, right? And it's how many calories?
I actually think it is 1 more.
Is it 1 more?
It's 1 more, but way more taste.
Way more taste.
Worth it. It's so worth it.
Sacrifice the calorie. You know, if you have 12, it's only 12 extra calories.
Yeah, look, you can drink, water with a hint of beer, or you can just drink an awesome beer.
Exactly. Yeah.
For 1 more calorie.
For 1 more calorie. But great taste, less filling. Miller Lite, appreciate it again this week. And again, like we said, we always forget to mention the can. Just an iconic can.
Look, it's
iconic.
Like the official dad beer of Christmas season.
It really, 100% is.
Yeah.
I mean, when I think of Christmas, I think of Santa Claus, I think of Christmas trees, and I think of Miller Lite cans. That's just how it goes.
Truly.
My kids leave a Miller Lite out for Santa Claus every year, so.
You've done something right. You've done something right.
But appreciate Miller Lite. We're going to go with me because you stole my question last week. Favorite Christmas movie?
Ooh.
Or do 3. Actually, we'll do 3 because there's so many out there.
I mean, we're going to run down them all, obviously.
Yeah, but I've got 3 in my head that I know for sure.
The 2 that come to mind immediately, obviously Christmas Vacation. I mean, probably
100%.
number 1. Christmas Story still hits for me. I know people think it's overplayed and all that kind of thing, but they put it on TBS every year for a reason, right? Like it's
24 hours.
Yeah, 24 hours in a row. And as I got older, you catch some of the more adult humor throughout, and it just gets better with age, I think.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And it's just classic, straight up classic.
And and Ralphie looks like my brother when we were kids.
Wow, your brother looked like Ralphie?
Oh, 100%.
I'm gonna have to see a picture of that.
Or not Ralphie. No, the main character.
Yeah, that's Ralphie.
Yeah, Ralphie. Yeah. He looks like Ralphie. Like dead. I mean, dead on him.
Huh? With the glasses too.
Yeah.
Nice. That's funny. Man, a third off the top of my head, I'm sure we'll get to one. I can't think in the moment. What is Christmas Vacation for
So
you?
Christmas Vacation 1. I think our top two are the same. Christmas Story. Number 3 was tough for me, but because of like the underlying storylines and things like that, it's got to be It's a Wonderful Life. Like it's such a good movie.
Yeah, you mentioned this
older,
last week. Yeah,
got to be black and white too. Don't watch the color version. You're doing yourself a disservice. Like, watch the black and white. Just an incredible, incredible movie. And look, if you're looking for a pick-me-up, you feeling down, like that is a movie that's going to, make you see the brighter side of things, Honorable mention for me, slightly behind It's a Wonderful Life, White Christmas.
Yeah.
Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye, Rosemary Clooney, George's grandma, I believe. Or no, it might be his
mom.
It's his mom. It's his mom. By the way, from Northern Kentucky. So it's a great movie. If you've never seen that one, highly suggest that one too. Music's off the charts, and that's in that movie.
Yeah, I think Elf deserves some love in the conversation.
It does. Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the Peanuts, so like Charlie Brown Christmas,
pretty good. It's only a half an hour, but it's good.
But it's always a good watch. Man, I'm trying to think of some other ones that just have.
If I had to go one more deeper than White Christmas, I love the original Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
That's not bad.
Pretty good. The second and third ones are okay. If I went one more deeper than that, Home Alone 2.
Well, I was going to ask you, where do you stand on the Home Alones?
I think they're good. I like Home Alone 2 better than 1. Yeah. I think they kind of found their footing with 1, and then Home Alone 2 was like really good. But they're good. My kids love both of them. Like, there's like 8 of them. Didn't know that, by the way.
Yeah, I just learned that too.
But I mean, the only ones that really matter are 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Do you not like the Home Alones?
No, it's one that like I know I've seen, especially seen the first 2. I think I saw the third as well, which I've never watched probably since because it was not
terrible.
Good.
It's terrible.
But 1 and 2, it's probably been a long time. I probably should go watch them again. I'm just not. It's kind of like a cult thing. A lot of people like love the Home Alone movies.
Yeah, I just saw a video. So they do like a Home Alone package in New York City now.
That
so you can go stay. So the hotel that I think it was based around, I think is actually closed now. But it's like another hotel that's like similar to it and like pretty close to it. And you go in, you get like the Sunday bar that he orders into the room. Like it's like a whole like Home Alone package.
Gotcha.
It is a cult following though, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's by the way, the most hidden villains, Christmas villains in those movies. Dad, villain. His dad?
Has to be. That guy's such a deadbeat.
Dude, he is such a dick, dude. Like the fact that like the second time they leave, like he disappears, they're like, oh, it was a holiday tradition. His son's like in another city.
Yeah.
Like not freaking out. He's laughing about it. Like villain.
Well,
Deadbeat dad.
The first one, he's basically like, he like lets the wife deal with it. He's like, this is like your problem. I'm just gonna chill here.
Yeah. And then she's like, she's in the van with John Candy, like a bunch of dudes. Like, yeah, he's a total dick, dude.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Total dick.
Mr. McAllister, get out of here.
But I want to know what the hell he does for a living.
Oh,
dude's like buying 14 people to Paris, living in that house in Chicago. Like,
yeah, what were these movies like in the, late 80s or early 90s?
Early 90s, yeah.
Man, what's a good rich guy job back then?
Probably like I don't know, like probably something with like stock. Like
that's
financial.
Some kind of financial.
Financial. Whatever. He was a finance bro before the finance bros were actually finance bros.
100%. I'm trying to think of just some other ones because I know there's a ton of Christmas movies.
So I just watched another one. It's good. I wouldn't say it's great. It's good. It's got so it's like I'll Be Home for Christmas. It's got Jessica Biel in it, and it's got God, what's that kid from Home Improvement?
Oh,
that's gonna drive me. That's gonna drive me crazy.
This is gonna hurt. We're gonna get this. Is
but
where we're gonna
Jessica
get
Biel, 22-year-old Jessica Biel is in that movie. Absolute smoke show, by the way.
We're seriously going to get torched for this one. He's got 3 names.
Yes, he does.
I can't think.
My God.
I can't think of anything else other than he has 3 names.
Hold on. Oh God,
what is it?
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
God, see, it was Jonathan, but
I knew he had 3 names. I just couldn't think of it. So it's him.
Yeah,
it's him. Jessica Biel. Those are like, if you know who Gary Cole is, that's his dad. Gary Cole's a pretty well-known actor, but Jessica Biel, the star of the show, and he treats her like shit. I would never treat her like that.
You know what movie I find myself around Christmas time, like just because it's on TV, like I'll end up watching chunks of it for no reason. It's not even really good, but I love Vince Vaughn. 4 Christmases.
Oh, dude.
I think it's underrated, right?
It is highly underrated.
Okay, good.
Highly underrated.
Yeah.
Like the opening scene when they're role playing in a bar, it's just like, it just sets the tone for the whole movie.
It cracks me. I think it's just like, you get Vince Vaughn at a certain point just like became Vince Vaughn in the movies and all the movies he did. So like, yeah, anytime he's on the screen.
Dude, the first 5 minutes they're role playing. He goes, "I'm talking to you, bitch." It's like, dude, I'm like, and then their whole like safe word.
Yeah.
Is like, what was their safe word? I think it was mistletoe.
Okay.
Like they're at his house, his dad's house, and he gets like thrown off the roof, and he's like in the bushes. He's like, mistletoe. It's so good. It's highly underrated movie. Right. Highly underrated.
I'm glad I'm not alone. Yeah, anytime it's on TV, for some reason we end up watching a little.
We watched it a couple weeks ago. Just like, all right, what do we want to like? Let's get one of that out of the way that our kids can't watch, and that was one. That was
And like I mentioned last week too, like it's not a movie, but we always watch like the Christmas episode of The Office.
By the way, after we went through that, we did that last week. They're all good.
It's so good.
But the Benihana one is just...
It's too classic, yeah. Too classic.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else. I don't know if we missed any. I mean, I gave my top 3, like, in some honorable mentions, but the other good ones that are like...
Well, there's a ton of classic ones that, like, I'm just...
Yeah, I mean, no,
Miracle
don't want
on
to
34th Street. You got, like, all of, like, the claymation style ones,
Yeah, I'm not talking about those, though. Like, Before Christmas is good. Bad Mom's Christmas is actually pretty funny too.
Never seen that.
We
Bad
watched
Santa.
Billy Bob Thornton. How can we forget that? Which, by the way, he's a fucking horrible Santa.
Oh, duh. That's the point.
Living in someone else's house, like
that's the point of Bad
banging
Santa.
a bartender, like it's just trying to rob the mall. Like it's just. It's a class. That's a pretty good one too. But Bad Mom's Christmas, it's got like Mila Kunis in it and all that. Like if you've ever seen like Bad Moms the movie, I watched it last night. Like we watched it last night. I was like, it's kind of funny. Like it's just like I think it's like now that we're older, like our wives are in that age, and you can kind of like relate to it a little bit.
Sure.
Kind of like what they're going through and stuff like that. So I thought it was pretty good. I don't know if there's any other.
Last thing before we move on, I just want to get on the record that any movie that takes place during the Christmas season is a Christmas movie. So you got like Die Hard.
We talked about that like way long ago. I've never seen Die Hard.
Yeah, I think I've never. God, this is so bad. I'm gonna have to go watch all of them because it's a glaring hole for me. But I've never seen it in like beginning to end, but I've seen the whole movie in chunks. If that makes sense, yeah. And
maybe this will be the year I watch Die Hard.
Yeah. So Die Hard, I think counts. I think the Harry Potter movies count as Christmas movies.
Yeah,
there's a lot of winter involved in those, and it just feels like a good, cozy weather. movie.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I'm pro if it happens during the Christmas season in the plot. It is a Christmas movie, even if it's not about Santa per se.
For sure. Yeah, no. Which, by the way, I need to go watch Christmas Vacation again. So we're doing a Christmas Vacation trivia night.
Okay. Yeah,
on Wednesday.
You got to brush up.
I've watched it already this year. I'm going to watch it 2 more times. Because apparently, like, you think you know the movie, and then, like, they start asking questions, and it's like, you're like, oh, shit, I kind of don't know this movie.
Yeah, exactly. You got to pay attention for specifics there.
Oh, yeah.
You
it's
can't
not
just,
like,
know the
it's
scenes.
not like, oh, what does he say when he's dumping the shit in the sewer? Like, okay. Yeah. Like, we get it, but,
right.
like, no, it's, like, specific stuff, so.
Okay. Well, we'll need an update on that one.
Yeah.
All right. My question, we kind of teased this one last week as well. It can be either favorite or most memorable, but most memorable or most favorite Christmas gift.
Oh, I don't think it's even remotely close. I remember when we got our Nintendo 64.
Oh, dude, I know.
I vaguely remember when we got our Super Nintendo. Not as much as when I remember when we got our Nintendo 64. Like, I remember what the box looks like everything. And then we got, like, 007, GoldenEye.
Yeah.
By the way, for all you, like, modern warfare people, that was the original, like, playing, like, open style killing people game.
Yeah, it was like the OG first person shooter.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. 100%. That one was that's at the top of the list for sure. Yeah. I mean, that has to be. I think because we were kind of the first generation that started getting those things for Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, gaming systems we were in that window for sure.
I'm trying to think of like
that topped my list too. We got Super Smash Brothers was like the game that came with that.
Oh yeah.
And just I still play that. Literally, I have the N64 set up in the player
Mario
for the
Kart.
boys. Yeah, Zach and I play Mario Kart and Smash Brothers all the time.
Yeah,
to this day.
So, but now that we're adults, we play drunk driving on Mario Kart.
Exactly. He's got a few years till we can do that, but yeah.
I'm trying to think of like an honorable mention gift.
While you're thinking, this one actually probably is the top of the list. We got a dog for Christmas once. Our first
oh really? That's really good gift.
My brother and sister and I got our first dog, Buddy, when I think I was I must have been 10, 11, kind of in that range. That's a really good gift. Yeah. Total surprise for us. It was awesome. Had the red bow on his neck and the whole thing. He was a Sheltie. He was a great dog.
Damn, that's a good... Yeah, dogs are...
Yeah.
Because it's like, that dog's going to be part of your life for the next 15 years, probably.
Yeah. It was awesome. He was, like I said, really good dog. And then another one that I just remember because we used to have, like I said before, we used to have these huge family gatherings on both sides, and you would get somebody's name on my mom's side, right?
Okay, yeah.
So my cousin Christy had my name for this year, and I think this is probably 4th or 5th grade. And she got me the Britney Spears Baby One More Time CD and the accompanying 12-month calendar, photo shoot calendar.
Oh.
Just imagine 5th grade Mitch in the back of the bus with the Walkman CD player jamming to Britney Spears. Just reading through the CD insert, and the schoolgirl outfits.
This is going to be a weird one, but this is the one that I remember and dude, these things we had these things forever. I remember, I want to say when my parents started cleaning stuff out 10 years ago, maybe not even that, 5 years ago, they found them. So me and my brother got Ren and Stimpy, the big plush pillows now. Yeah. We got those, but in Ren and Stimpy, this was 20 years ago, 25 years ago, probably. Yeah. And I remember we had those things forever. I loved that thing. It was in my bed. It was super comfortable.
Which one did you have?
Ren.
Okay.
Dude, it was awesome. It's so weird that I remember that, but I remember having those pillows forever. Yeah. Forever we had those pillows. Yeah, that's the one I remember. I remember vividly getting that. The one thing I remember, so our childhood dog, we used to get him this gigantic bone. He only weighed 40 pounds. The bone weighed 35.
Oh my God.
And that was always cool, seeing that. But I remember, but that brings up another point. So, gift you've gotten. What's the best gift you've ever given?
Oh, God, this is going to... Do you have one on top of mind? Because
I 100% do. And mine happened 3 years ago. Well, 2 years ago.
All right.
So, 2 years ago, we were kind of struggling to figure out what we were going to get our kids. So I was you know what? I was I've never been down to Disney for Christmas. So I was I think it'd be pretty cool if we go down there. So we decided that our kids, so my mother-in-law got them Disney suitcases. We got them a trip to Disney. We left the morning after, we left on the 26th in the morning. And they got to open. And what was cool about it is they're opening everything. And they're oh, we're going in the summer. And it's no, we're and they they couldn't piece things together. Like they see the suitcases, they got the wristbands. You know, they started opening stuff up, like the autograph books that you can get for the princesses and stuff like that. And then, like, all of a sudden it hit them. They're like, oh, wait, we're going to Disney. And I'm like, oh, in the summer. It's like, no, we're going tomorrow. And they're like, what? Like, like, just the excitement on their face. Like, what do you mean we're going to, like, we're getting on a plane tomorrow and we're going to Disney. And it was like, and the trip was unbelievable. Like, my oldest daughter, it finally was like her first year. She was like, I want to stay up until 12 o'clock because we were down there for New Year's Eve. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. Like, stay up with me. We'll go. We sat on this like deck bar at our resort, watched the fireworks go off at 12 o'clock. Just an all-time memorable trip. Like, and the reactions of like, what do you like? Oh my God, we're getting on a plane tomorrow, like going to Disney. That was the best gift I have ever given. It's going to be really hard to top, too.
Yeah, I got nothing close to that. I can't even really, it's really hard for me to, like, remember, like, when I got what, and even, like, it all just kind of blurs together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, between, like, birthdays and Christmas and, like, all this stuff. Probably my most favorite gift that I've given was this past year for Zach's birthday. We got him his first set of golf clubs. So I think that is, like...
That's pretty cool.
Hopefully, you know, he's started to kind of like this last year kind of take an interest a little bit in it. And like he wanted to go to the driving range. I took him to the quote unquote big course.
Yeah.
So he could play. So like I'm hopeful that it's sort of the start of, you know, a budding thing that him and I can do together.
At least he's got you to not buy stuff off Amazon.
Exactly. The kid will be treated right if he's into golf. I got him. I'm sure there's, you know, other good gifts that I get. I mean, technically, like I proposed to Susie on Valentine's Day as like part of like a gift situation, so that could count. But it's Christmas specific. I don't have anything that I can.
You know, that was like the first one I like. I don't ever remember giving like a really big gift for Christmas.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I need to fix that. Not this year.
I mean, I think I got.
It's a little late for this year. That'll have ultimate stress to it.
Sure. And, I mean, next year's just like a big year for us in general. It's our 10th anniversary. There's, you know, we've got a bunch of weddings we got to go to.
We got a bachelor party.
Bachelor party we got to go to.
Which, update on that, we're going to Chicago, it sounds like.
It sounds like Chicago in summertime or springtime shy.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
I need to give better gifts. I'll tell you, I'm a pretty good gift giver, though. At least I've been told I am.
My problem is I used to be so good at like the sentimental gifts, and I don't know if I just lost my fastball or if like my attention to detail is gone, but like I've just moved so far into like the practical gift giving zone.
Yeah, like, oh, you need this. Here you go. Yeah.
Or like it, even if it's like not like a need, but it's more just like a this will make your life better thing. Yeah. Versus like I used to like put a lot of thought and like personal effort into things versus just buying something.
Yeah, I mean, like I can tell you this year, like we're not even getting, like me and my wife are not even getting each other gifts. We're doing a bathroom, and then our TV in our living room went out, and we're like, tomorrow we're going to get a TV. It's like,
yeah,
there's Christmas. All right, there's Christmas, your birthday, next Christmas. Like it's just we're just gonna cover a couple years of Christmases. Right off the bat.
We're kind of there, too. I mean, we had the furnace go out, so we were like, we'll keep it light at Christmas. We want to get a new king-size bed, and so, you know, we're due for all that. So, you know, big plans for next year, like I said. So
Yeah. I've always been told I've been a good gift giver, but I'm like, maybe I'm just drawing a blank on something I've given. I do know I bought my brother's a Dallas Cowboys fan 3 years ago, you know, when COVID hit and, like, there was limited fans at games. Cowboys came to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Bottom tickets.
Got beat by Andy Dalton. Sad.
Didn't even make it to the game. We both got COVID. So
tough.
And we had to sell the tickets. So yeah, that was I tried to give a good gift and then just backfired immediately.
Hey,
so
sometimes good deeds they don't go unpunished. So.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, I think that's a wrap on 2023 shows. I mean, we've got the next 2 weeks, you know, we've got a couple special editions. The best of Patio Beers, part 1 and 2.
Heck yeah. I think they're going to be pretty good. I think I've got some good ones picked out.
Yeah, so if you've missed a few episodes along the way, maybe missed a few Patio Beer segments, hop on and listen to that. Listen to some of your favorites you probably listened to already this year. It should be good for at least a few laughs, into the holidays here.
Yeah, because they'll drop on, and if you're sitting around on Christmas Day, late on Christmas Day, they'll be out on Christmas and New Year's Day. So New Year's Day when you're milking a fat hangover, eating some greasy food one last time before we all decide to start eating better.
Yeah, or hey, you started your New Year's resolution, hopping on the elliptical or whatever that Tuesday morning.
Hop on it.
Listen to some Patio Beers segments.
Maybe our listens will go up even more when some people start working out. And,
yeah, exactly. People need time to kill in the gym.
Yeah.
Hey, great. We will take it. Your gym listening is much appreciated.
Yeah, we'll take it.
So, all right. Well, we will see you in 2024. Like I said, stay tuned for those couple episodes. Subscribe, rate, review the show. We appreciate that. We'll probably do some posts on social media too. So check us out there at Back9Sixpack. Oh, last thing. If you need a last-second holiday gift here, reach out to us. We still have hats. We have a towel left.
Throwing in a koozie.
Like I said, we're throwing in koozies, so hit us up.
We'll throw in a koozie and a sticker.
Oh, koozie and a sticker. Look at this.
Bonus gifts.
Bonus gift. You stayed this long, So.
Yep.
All right, guys. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Cheers.
See ya. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Back9Sixpack. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Back9Sixpack for all your content needs. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.